Hello, friends. Welcome to another session on factorization. So we have been solving few examples which required a particular methodology of factorization of algebraic expressions, and that's called the splitting the middle term, isn't it? So just let me write it here: splitting the middle term. Splitting the middle term is what we have been practicing. Okay, so here again, this problem looks suitable for using this method. Okay, why does it look suitable? Because if you see, uh, carefully, this is x minus 2y whole squared, and here is x minus 2y. Okay, so if you see it in a group, let's say if you just group it like that, so don't you think there is a square term and then there is a linear term and then there is a constant term, right? So this is the square term, this is called the linear term, and this is the constant term. So it is a perfect case for a splitting the middle term if you have the same entity, that is the encircled entity should be same. So can I not express this as, let us say we can assume something here. So to simplify the process, so let's say a is equal to x minus 2y, and let's see what happens next. So can I not write like this: 9a square minus 4a minus 13. Now you'd be familiar with such expressions, and there are three terms. There's a square term, there's a linear term, and a constant term. This could be a perfect case of splitting the middle term if the coefficients are such. So let's analyze the coefficients. So if you see, the leading coefficient is 9 here, the constant term is 13. So in splitting the middle term, what do? We multiply the leading coefficient, that is 9 here, with the constant, so minus 13, right? What is 13 times 9? It is nothing but 117, right? So this is what it is. In fact, there is no need to multiply these two. What you can do is you can simply factor it. So it is 3 into 3 into 13, right? This is the total. The prime factors of 9 into minus 13 will be this, right? So within these factors only, we have to find out something so that the sum becomes this middle term, right? Minus 4. What do we do? How do we express 9 into minus 13 in a broken form? Let's say we have been practicing this. Let's say b1 and b2 is equal to 9 into minus 13. Okay, sorry, b1 into b2, right? b1 into b2 should give you 9. b1 times b2 should give you 9 times minus 13, and b1 plus b2 should be equal to minus 1. Sorry, the middle term here, b should be equal to minus 4, should be equal to minus 4, isn't it? This is what the technique was. So break down the product of the leading coefficient and the constant into two parts, say b1 b2, such that the sum is the middle part. So if you see, guys, if I take b1 as 13 and minus 13 rather, and b2 as plus 9, you will see the sum is minus 4, right? This is how you have to break it, right? Now then this becomes simple now. So 9a squared minus 4a can be written as minus 13a, or the other way around, so that you can take common. So you can write this as plus 9a plus 9a minus 13a, isn't it? So minus 4a, if you look carefully, this minus 4a can be expressed like this, right? And then what? Minus 13 simply, and it follows, simply take common terms and then done. So hence it is 9a common, a plus 1, minus 13 common, a plus 1, isn't it? So hence total will be, you take a plus 1 common now, and times 9a minus 13. So right, so we could factorize. So we have now split the given expression into two factors. But my dear friend, a was not present in the initial expression, so you have to just replace a back. So what was a anyways? A was x minus 2y, right? So let's put a as x minus 2y back. So x minus 2y plus 1 times 9 times x minus 2y minus 13. So this is what the factors would look like. You can, if you want, you can simplify it further or leave it at this stage, but it's better to simplify to the maximum possible extent. So multiply 9x minus 18y like that. So you open this bracket and then minus 13. Fair enough. So this is how the factorization would look like, right? You can't really factorize the two linear terms here. So there are two linear terms here now. Why linear? Because the powers are 1 here. So any expression with highest degree as 1 is called a linear term, linear factor. You'll learn all this a little later. And if you see, we had a power 2 here. So whenever there's a power 2 expression, at max they can be broken down into two linear expressions, like that, product of two linear expressions. So let's take some more examples to make it clear.